Hey everyone, my name is Darkbreaker, and today I'm reading The Fall, a Donkey Kong slash King Kong fanfiction. A drop of sweat rolled down Cranky's forehead as he swiftly maneuvered his fighter jet towards the Empire State Building, which could be seen in the distance. It was his first time flying out of the practice range, and it was going to be his first time attacking something aside from a simple target. Something alive. He didn't know what this thing was. His superior's orders had been vague. Just kill it. That's all he had been told. The reason that this was Cranky's first real job was because he was a monkey who worked among carnivorous humans. They said he smelled, but despite this, every time Cranky passed by any of them, he could swear they were drooling, and the way they looked at him during those passings was anything but nice. Kind of creepy, actually. Because of their dislike of other species, it was very tough for him to advance, but today was an emergency and there was a serious lack of men, so he was put on the job. Despite the fact that he was treated horribly, he had never dreamed of quitting. His newfound love for flying was too strong to be broken by a few scary glances and puddles of drool. Cranky was going through something of a midlife crisis, and had decided on a whim that he was going to fly, and joining the Air Force was the simplest and most useful way he could think of. Cranky looked directly ahead of him and couldn't believe his eyes. It was a gorilla, a giant one at that, and it was standing on top of the Empire State Building.
Holy bananas! That is one beautiful primate!
Cranky thought as he became closer and closer to the gorilla. Then it occurred to him what he was expected to do. They wanted him to kill this magnificent creature. Suddenly, his comrades were mercilessly shooting at the innocent gorilla. Cranky jumped out of his jet in the general direction of the gorilla, and with the aid of a convenient gust of wind, was sent flying directly towards the gorilla. He could tell he wasn't going to make it all the way, and looked up. The gorilla looked at him and their eyes met. They both knew it at the same time. This was love at first sight. The gorilla reached out and pulled Cranky to him just in the nick of time. "I am King Kong," the gorilla, now known as King Kong, said.
My name is Cranky. It's a pleasure to meet you,
Cranky replied, with a blush the shade of Diddy Kong's hat. So, what do you say we blow this joint and have some lunch together? King Kong scratched his head awkwardly as he said this.
You bet your baby blue eyes I do,
Cranky said with glee as he invited himself onto King Kong's furry back.
Hold on tight.
King Kong jumped off the building, with his arms and legs outstretched and a smile on his face. He appeared to be waiting for something as he floated in the air for a moment, before he and Cranky began to fall at an alarming rate, towards the pointy treetops in Central Park below them. Wait, is the Empire State Building right next to Central Park? Hold on. No. No, it's not. In fact, it's 25 blocks away. Why would you... Like, not even the Chrysler building's next to it. Why would you assume that... Okay, moving on.
Is this supposed to be happening?
Cranky shouted. Not exactly. Oog. The birds were supposed to grab me by my fur and carry us to paradise.
What the hell are you talking about? Birds? Carrie? You?
Hey, it happens all the time. Like in Cinderella. They totally carried her dress that way.
A dress? A dress? You're... what? Only over 1,000,000 times bigger than that? Nitwit!
Shut up, you old geezer. I thought you loved me. And I wasn't talking about sparrows here. I meant ostriches. So there.
Ostriches can't fly. Do you even have a brain in that oversized head of yours? Now we're gonna die. And to think I ever loved you. Disgusting.
Well, you smell. And I never loved you. For one, you're older than King Tut. And as dusty as him, too.
You really feel that way about me? Fine, then. Take this.
As he said that, Cranky bit King Kong as hard as was possible with his dentures. As a result, King Kong screamed in fury, wrenched Cranky off his back, and threw him under his armpit and pulled his arm down. There was a small crunch and a little splat, and maybe a tiny squish. King Kong raised his arm and threw his head back in disgust. Oh, great. He didn't tell me he wore diapers. Ew. That is gonna leave a stain. Damn him and his non-potty trainedness. Anyone got a wet one? Maybe a little show. Ah! Those were King Kong's last words as he plummeted through the trees of the park and so far deep into the ground that he ended up in China, where he had to shave his entire body to get rid of the smell and stain of Cranky's diaper. Afterwards, he just looked like a giant and was hired to play the part of Hagrid's brother in the next Harry Potter movies. He became famous and forgot all about Cranky and lived happily ever after. So Cranky's supposed to be old, but is having a midlife crisis? How long has he been in the Air Force? Okay, whatever. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. My name is Darkbreaker. A few more videos on screen. Have a good one.